What's up, y'all? Deontay with Deontay's Reviews. Like, tag, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what? One of the comments that I see often that really grinds my gears in the comment section, and I only see it when I talk about Amber and Anthony because the storyline is triggering to a lot of people, and rightfully so because we see what's happening. When people put in the comments, to be a preacher, you so negative when it comes to Amber and Anthony. And I gotta stop and think sometimes. Like, yo, some of y'all be so triggered to where y'all be saying stuff out the side of y'all neck. Don't even know me as a person. Don't even know what y'all be talking about half the time. Okay? So here's the thing. And here's part of the problem. We live in a time now where there's a lot of people that want to sanitize the gospel, that want to sanitize and deliver a sanitized Jesus and a sanitized Bible. When scripture tells us to cry loud and spare not, when scripture tells us to preach the word and preach and do the work of the Lord in season and out of season, preach the truth when they want to hear it and preach the truth when they don't want to hear it. And what I find is a lot of times, I'm just go ahead and say it. Some people that really get triggered with the Amber and Anthony storyline, it's because sometimes, especially when I be saying stuff about Amber, I don't use profanity, none of that stuff. But I just call it the way I see it in terms of the character that is, her behavior and her decision making and all of those things. When I call that stuff out, some of that stuff is triggered. And it's really a lot of times it's mainly women that get triggered by it. Could it be because as to why you're so defensive? Could it be because looking at her is like looking in the mirror sometimes because you see yourself making decisions like that or at a period in your life? And so you're very defensive about it. And so the only way to be defensive is to just simply say that I'm just very negative about, Amber and things of that nature. When the truth is, let's be honest. Let's be all the way honest. When Amber came in the storyline, she was not a godly woman when she came in the skits. She came in conniving and backbiting, doing underhanded things. The only reason why she was even entertaining Wayne was to get back at Mike. That's neither here nor there. But here's the thing. To be a preacher, you so negative. Preachers are not supposed to be positive and goody-goody and saying things that stroke people's ego all the time. Jesus wasn't even like that. Jesus was a rebel. Jesus came in flipping tables. Jesus came in disrupting the status quo, not going along to get along. When the masses wanted to kill a woman caught in adultery, he wrote in the sand. We don't know what he wrote in the sand. But what he said was he who was without sin, let him cast the first stone. Disrupting what the masses wanted to happen, which was to kill the woman. Going against what the masses was doing. And then to say, as a preacher, you so negative. What if the prophet Nathan was negative when it came to David? Remember David? You know David. Pull up David and tell him your story. When you took Uriah's wife, Bathsheba, got her pregnant, and tried to cover it up and then had the man killed. And then the preacher, Nathan, with instructions, with authority from God, went to the king, a rich man, and gave him a little story. There was a rich man and a poor man. Poor man had one little lamb. Rich man, rather than slaying his lamb to prepare a feast, to prepare a meal, he done went and took the poor man's little lamb and slayed it. And then David got mad and said, that man should surely die. And the preacher said, thou art the man. That Nathan, the preacher, the prophet, said something to a rich man that could have got him killed. But he came with an assignment to call out what needed to be called out and worry about the rest later. I say all of that to say, that's just a few examples. Now, I'm sorry that there are some preachers who do mamby-pamby preaching and do and say things just to be liked by the masses, but I'm a whole different breed. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. Man, here's the thing. You can't say I don't like marriage. I don't like the marriages in the skit because I'm a fan of Ernestine and Jay getting back together. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Because they actually had genuine chemistry. They actually genuinely cared about each other. Sure, they made mistakes. But overall, they genuinely loved each other. When they came into Skitland, they had their imperfections, but they genuinely loved each other. They genuinely had each other's back, though. I mean, Ernestine had her issues, Jay had his issues. But this marriage with Amber and Anthony is full of craziness. The foundation, we were privy to the foundation of it. And we seen how lacking thereof of a solid foundation they had. And just me personally, as a man of God, I'm hard on men. I really am. So that foolishness Anthony doing, sure he rich. He knows how to love bomb. See, men can see through men. So we know the foolishness and the stuff that men like to pull when they trying to pull a one over on women. Okay? That narcissistic man that Anthony is. But it be them comments though, to be a preacher, you so negative. Listen, I'm sorry that the bust your bubble. That the Jesus of the Bible was not a lollipop Jesus. I'm sorry. He just wasn't. If he were, we wouldn't have salvation made available to us. I'm sorry. But, you know, I'm just clearing it up though. You know, just wanted to address that. I feel like I find myself every couple of weeks addressing the same thing. You know, but sometimes you got to, because you never know who new coming through. They don't know who you are, don't know you. You know, but like I said before, if you watched that live the other night on Sunday with me and my wife, and you heard our story and you heard the things we had to say, a lot of y'all got a better understanding as to why I feel the way I feel about that Amber and Anthony marriage. But just had to get that off my chest because it was necessary. Y'all be good. I'll see y'all later on when we do some more reviews.